Hi guys, welcome back. All right, Tarians, let's go ahead and take a little peek at what is going on with them, the person who has Taurus on their mind. Oh, are they thinking about a fight? Obviously we see somebody doing the, face palm here. The, oh my God, it broke down again. The communication went haywire and now there's conflict when what I wanted was like for Taurus to love me. What I wanted was softness. Although, in fairness, we do have two feminines here. This is either they've had multiple fights with Taurus over the same topic, or just when they most would like to get things on track, they tend to blow it. Or maybe this is that they are trying to deal with. Maybe this is a very complicated situation. Maybe there's an ex involved, the mother of their child or something. Maybe, I don't know, this could be a tough one. We have Temperance, it is in the reverse, and we have the Chariot upright. I hardly think that this person is stressed out like this over the fight that they just had with Taurus because they were, telling Taurus, hey, listen, I'm in love with somebody else. I'm going to go have a baby with them. So that's not going to be the story, simply because they wouldn't even, obviously it wouldn't be something there would even be a fight about if that were the case, because, they wouldn't be stressed over this. They wouldn't be upset over the fact that Taurus would be turning away from them if they're, having some other relationship elsewhere. So that's probably not even something we have to factor in. This is going to be much more focused on, they're worried that this is the final fight that they've had with Taurus, and that although they know Taurus is exceptionally loving, Taurus could be the one who is the mother of their child. They could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but it seems like all they do is every time they open their mouth, it seems like they create like tension, and then Taurus like quietly walks away. I don't even think Taurus fights. I think that they say something that's just like they know it's mean, but it spills out of their lips, and it's like, why am I being like this toward Taurus? Why do I say something mean when it's like they know, especially if Taurus is like the mother of their child or father of their child, they're like, why would I not be treating the mother or father of my child better than this when I actually love them? So why does it always come out so wrong? Why is it that I always find a way? It's like this person, I don't know where they're I'm going to use the word dis-ease, but I don't mean disease. They're ill at ease, like with their own ability to communicate, or they immediately wind up getting like hostile or something when they know darn well they could be really loving with Taurus. Taurus would prefer to be really loving with them, but instead it always devolves into Taurus just quietly walking away. And it's like, I don't know how to get things calmed out and smoothed out between us. I feel like they are starting to say, I think it's me. I think I'm the reason that we have conflict, because this is almost like they're thinking maybe I should leave. Maybe I should walk away and maybe get control of my own emotions. Maybe this back and forth, and we can never seem to get on the same page. If I'm the one who's perpetually aware that Taurus was being kind and loving, so am I the problem here? This might be a moment of profound self-awareness that this person is starting to have, like that they actually are contributing or creating the drama that exists. We get a Page of Pentacles here. And it's that light bulb moment. Maybe they're gonna, it's so crazy, but it almost seems like they're about to tell Taurus, I have this idea, maybe I need to go to some counseling or therapy. That could be a very, very, very big step forward. Or maybe they're going to say, like, I'm realizing I've been really, really stressed and I'm taking it out on Taurus. Maybe they want to tell Taurus this. It's definitely something here. 6 of Coins. I actually really appreciate the fact that this character is bothered by this perpetual, thunderstorms and lightning strikes that happen every time there's dialogue, when they don't want that with Taurus. They actually are aware that it keeps going that route, but that's not how they want to behave. That's not how they intend to treat Taurus, but they are thinking, I need to change something in my life. Maybe they're at a job that they hate. Maybe this is like the spillover. Maybe they come home in just a crap mood and then they're acting crappy toward Taurus. Or maybe they're identifying that I'm the one with the bad attitude. I'm snippy, I'm caustic. I don't want to treat my Taurus like that. I want Taurus to be like, the person that is my safe space, but I should also be the safe space for Taurus. I'm realizing that. So what do I need to do to change something in my life? Maybe I'm in the wrong, career path, or maybe I'm in a toxic environment. And instead I should change that. I should go someplace where it feels like supportive, so that I don't bring home like negative energy. Or I should look at this as I should be supporting Taurus. I should be making Taurus feel comfortable and safe with me. And I haven't been doing that. I don't know. I keep feeling like they recognize that their heart needs to get cleaned up. Their energy needs to get balanced out because they are imbalanced. This is more like their self-reflection about how they don't want to treat Taurus. They haven't been treating Taurus well, and they don't like the way they've been behaving. So that actually speaks very well of them. They do keep thinking, though, that maybe either Taurus would be better off without them, and it makes them sad. They don't want to leave Taurus, but they're kind of like, if I'm acting like an ogre, maybe I do need to get myself into calmer waters. Both of these cards speak of like, this is somebody getting off the chessboard. This is somebody thinking that I might have to like move into calmer waters, but sometimes it's a personal experience. Are they thinking that if they, I'm not saying that even that they want to break up with Taurus. It's more like they need to go get their own energy sorted out. Two of Cups. It keeps feeling like they're trying to say, I would like to be able to like match Taurus in this much more loving energy. And because I love Taurus, if I'm not able to be loving, if I'm the one causing the conflict, then it's an act of love for me to say, I've got to go sort myself out. I do not feel like this person is like triggered by Taurus. I think that they are just recognizing that there's a bunch of stuff they need to heal because right now they're taking it out on Taurus. This is somebody who may be pulling back from Taurus because they personally think it's not right. That somebody that they really love and care about is getting the crappiest version of them right now. We have Taurus here with that Hierophant. There is this thing like crossing that bridge. It's almost like they don't want Taurus to see them like this. I kind of think that this has gotten to a point where they're saying, oh my gosh, my little buffalo out there does not like any character not treating our Taurus properly. I'm sorry. I know that softly picks up on the mic, even though Aries is in a whole different room in the house, but still, I'm sorry that you guys can hear that. But it definitely feels like, well, let's say they're on guard, right? My baby's on guard right now. But let's say that they are on guard saying, Taurus deserves a better version of me than what they are getting. And I don't want Taurus to, I know that they love me, which is also why I feel doubly crappy if I'm not, my best self right now. Let me ask again, what's their higher self nudging them to do? Ace of Cups. First off, to tell Taurus that they love Taurus, because they do, with this Ace of Cups and this, like, I want to be the dove that brings in that energy of healing. They do, again and again, we see them recognizing what they want to be able to provide. And if they can't provide it in this moment, then they need to sort that out. I don't know that I think that this is somebody who wants to walk away from Taurus at all for any length of time. This is not like, oh, I got to go on a dark night of the soul. Let me go into hermit mode. This is like someone who's saying, wow, I've been way out of whack. I need to talk to Taurus and say, I know I've been behaving like, just a beast. I've been so stressed out and I'm taking it out on you. That is not the way I want to treat you. Honestly, you're my favorite person on earth, Taurus. It feels like this character is reaching that point where they just realize they've been abominable and they feel like crap about that. That's great. They have a lot of self-awareness. This person's not, at least in this storyline, this is not somebody who is unaware of their bad behavior. We have the hanged man or hanged woman in this deck, and there's that third eye chakra. So very intuitive, but this is that Piscean energy. This is them pausing and seeing things through a lens. I keep thinking that they're trying to decide what should they do. Maybe they need to go talk to a therapist or a counselor, or maybe they're feeling like I need to make some change. And we got the Justice card. They definitely could be a Libra as well, since we did see them first with the Five of Swords. They could also be a Cancerian. They could also be a Sagittarius. Um, Taurus shows up as themselves, but we also have strong Libra, and this is that throat chakra. They want to talk and actually acknowledge this. They want to acknowledge it's not right the way I've been behaving. This is unfair. This is not okay, and I know that. Okay, so that's really, really good. But what is it that you want to do about that? You know, this is them opening up in those chakras, right? The throat chakra, the third eye. Four of Wands in the reverse. I said, what do you want to do about that? And this almost looks like them saying, you know, I don't know that Taurus should have to put up with me when I'm behaving like this. With the Four of Wands, I'm aware that I'm not being a good partner. Queen of Swords. It almost seems like they're saying, Taurus, you should walk away from me for the time being. We have two cards of marriage. And on one hand, they love Taurus. They see Taurus as their Two of Cups. But whatever they're dealing with right now, it's like they want to tell Taurus, like, run away from me, stay away from me until I get myself sorted out. You deserve better, or I know I haven't been that partner to you. Like, and I can call it what it is. It's not okay. I'm not sure yet if they just want to take accountability. We keep seeing them like needing to go somewhere, but I don't know if it's like I need to go and get myself sorted out so that I can be the best partner. We have the Empress. I think that this is them taking full accountability, but I keep thinking for them to take accountability, for them to like basically tell Taurus, I know what I haven't been giving you. I know what you deserve. I know what you're worth. I know how it should go. And I know what it hasn't been. Don't think I'm oblivious to any of this. Now, also know that I've got to course correct some stuff, and I know that too. Six of Pentacles. This could be them saying, will you help me? Will you help me to like get through this tough time that I'm going through? Do they know where their tough time is coming from? You know, I've never seen a storyline like this. Eight of Pentacles. A lot of this could have to do with work, but also, you know, sometimes we get to a place in our lives where we imagine that, you know, sometimes it's like at a certain age or something, we go, I didn't achieve great things. I'm at a certain age where, you know, I'm not going to become an Olympic gymnast now, or I'm not going to become an astronaut. And up until this point in my life, I always still had this idea that I had all these things that I could still achieve, but certain dreams I've aged out of. And that can be a really hard thing to swallow, because he sits here and he's looking really bummed out. And there's this picture of himself, and it shows him when he was younger, but he's still in real time is still exactly where he's at. And I almost wonder if this is somebody who's like, a long time ago, I had all these hopes and wishes and dreams, but guess what? I'm still doing the exact same thing. Maybe it's been 25, 40 years, and I'm still where I was in old photos. It almost feels like somebody is having like, you know, like a crisis of, you know, I don't know that I've done enough with my life for the age bracket that I'm in. And they're just kind of like maybe having a very grumpy meltdown at their dissatisfaction with what they have and have not accomplished in their life. This could also be somebody who's like freaking out a little bit because maybe they still feel really immature, and they suddenly are realizing I've stayed immature for far too long, and I need to play catch up, and I need to get myself mature like lightning fast. You know, sometimes we do like glances in the mirror and we're stunned by what we discover. You know, we're stunned by like, oh my God, I didn't realize how many years have passed. And when I look at what I've accomplished in the last 15 years, maybe it's not what I thought I was going to, but I didn't really recognize 15 years slip by somehow. I just feel like this character is really realizing that there's a bunch of stuff that they had hopes for and they haven't achieved those things. And maybe they're disgruntled with themselves at the moment, but they've been more or less just like a bear with a sore paw, just mad at everybody around him, taking it out on Taurus. Queen of Wands, Five of Cups. Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a pity party. They're also comparing themselves to Taurus quite a bit and saying Taurus is wonderful, they're graceful, they're accomplished. Taurus is an empress. Taurus has all of these skills. Taurus seems so sure of themselves. Meanwhile, they feel immature. I really feel this is a frame of mind. It's just them like being really down on themselves right now. But being around Taurus and feeling like they're comparing themselves, maybe that's why we keep saying, like, it's almost like they're looking at themselves saying, I should probably just, leave. Maybe Taurus would be better off without me, because I'm not a great partner, and look at all the things I haven't accomplished, and look at all the things I still have to work on in myself. And Taurus is already an empress, already this Queen of Wands. It really feels like this person kind of got triggered by Taurus's awesomeness, competencies, and because it started to make them feel like they were less than. I don't think they tried to be in competition with Taurus. I think that this is all stemming from them. I'm not satisfied with myself. Now I'm taking it out on Taurus. I don't even want to be around Taurus, or I pick fights with Taurus because I imagine Taurus is seeing how I don't measure up. And Taurus wasn't doing that at all. In fact, Taurus was loving me, was being kind and compassionate with me, but everything seems like Taurus must see how poorly I'm doing. They must see my, failed, life accomplishments or something, when really it's just their perspective of themselves. But I do think they've been lashing out. In this storyline, that's what we've got, is somebody who's been pushing Taurus away, somebody who's been behaving really crappy, and it's none of it's Taurus's fault. They actually have been throwing themselves a gigantic pity party. And look, I'm not saying that in a snarky way. I throw huge pity parties for myself. Trust me. I can be very hyper self-focused and, embarrassing ways, and then have to snap out of it, right? I think as humans, we all do that sometimes. And then we go, okay, knock it off. Get out there and go. You didn't do enough, then get out there and go do more. Who's in charge of you? You is. So get up and do something awesome. If you feel like you are not liking what you've accomplished so far, then try harder, work harder, do more. That's the only remedy I've ever found for my pity parties to stop, is to get up and get busy again. But this says that we've got to, I definitely feel like now they're also sad that they've treated Taurus poorly, which that part's really great. But I think if anything, if they're having some breakthroughs right now, if they're realizing, I love this Taurus, and that's never been in question. They have loved this Taurus all the time, but they have not been treating Taurus nicely. And if they are hoping to just acknowledge all of this and say, will you give me another chance? And I have not been content with when I looked in the mirror and I saw how little I've accomplished. I don't like what I see. They may really need Taurus's friendship and support. Well, look, in my eyes, I see you as somebody that has the attributes that I wanted. That's why I've been dealing with you in the first place. But if there's something you want to do, why don't we do it together? It feels like that is their greatest hope, is that Taurus would actually still want to be with them. But it feels like that's the thing that they're most afraid of. And the way they're behaving is going to drive Taurus off if they keep treating Taurus like this, even though it's the one thing that they desperately don't want to lose is Taurus. So it's very complicated. This is all these stirred emotions of, probably Taurus would be better off without me. I'm not even that great. Maybe I should break up with Taurus, but that's not what they want. They want Taurus to stay with them, so it's tough when they're pushing away the very thing that they most want, because they just feel bad about themselves at the moment. I feel like this can get better, but they're just in kind of like a crisis moment is what this storyline looked like to me. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up.